Kuna kitu nimekuja kugundua hapa hivi. Tumefocus sana na national government mpaka tukasahau kuna county government that owe us so much. They have our money, they owe us accountability, they owe us literally too much. These people have our money, guys. They are no longer working because hakuna mtu wa kuwauliza. Kenya mzima sisi wote tuko kwa national government and these people have our money. Angalia sasa Gladys Wanga na kuanga na audacity ya kuchukua microphone akituongelesha venye anataka. Guys, ulizeni Gladys Wanga Omabei inakaa aje? Agmuulizeni ni nini amefanya Omabei so far. Rachonyo level 4 hospital haina hata madawa, haina dawa. Na mtu anashindanga tu amepiga makelele huko, hataki kuona microphone. Akiona tu microphone hivi ndio huyo amekimbilia kushikilia hivi. Na ukimuuliza what's going on in Omabei County, madam hana habari, hajui hata nini inaendelea huko hivyo. She was summoned by the park. Ali show up. Alikuja. Anakuja kufanya nini na hana majibu? Atakujaje na kona 1200 ghost workers when haezi explain hawa watu ni akina nani na wanatoka wapi. She cannot answer anything for the people of Omabei County. Hawezi. Gladys Wanga kuna kitu yenye amefanya Omabei County yenye anaweza kukuambia hata moja hivi. Kazi yake ni kuride on national government projects. Hizo ndio amejificha behind them, na kwa sababu watu wa Omabei nao wao bora wameona omena wako tu wao bora wameona omena. They don't even have any idea that hii ni project ya government, national government, hii ni ya county government. Hawana habari. Wao wakiona imefanyika wanadhania ni Gladys Wanga, and Gladys Wanga is doing absolutely nothing, man. Gladys Wanga is a full package of mediocre, guys. Even her wig can prove it. Mtu anapenda microphone, lakini ukimwambia shika microphone sasa tuambie kenye umefanya na pesa za Omabei County, hayuko. Gladys Wanga, you must go home. Gladys Wanga, you don't deserve the people of Omabei County. Gladys Wanga, Omabei County is unsafe in your hands. Gladys Wanga, you are a...
Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Gladys Nyasuna Wanga is going to destroy ODM right from the middle. And I want to agree, I've been following up public sentiments and the reaction of Onagi Nation on the politics around zoning. And I can say clearly, if Oburu Dinga is not careful, Wanga must be stopped. In my possession is an audio clip of Muhoroni Member of Parliament making out, exposing how the Omabei governor is planning to plant his own brother as the ODM candidate for Muhoroni parliamentary seat. And since there seemed to be imminent fall of Odinga dynasty, Koyo is explaining how Wanga wants to come up with Nyasuna dynasty. And really, for those who understand the Luo, I want us to listen to that audio clip, that trending audio clip. And I'll try to just explain a bit of it.
Kubaya ka ng'eyo WhatsApp eka neno message moro ma governor or 10 forwarded. It's a message that is forwarded. Mawacho ni mheshimiwa kindly accompany me for this occasion. To ka ng'eyo malo to keto barua mane church no invite go, and barua was dated 3rd of April. 3rd of April. To moro na gini, I think on Friday or Saturday at about in the afternoon. Kuro kan wango to abe ne pradech kone nikech mokwongo kawe kata ni en wat inu ng'ere kode adwa ng'e ni en jakom mar ODM to an bende an patron mar ODM Muhoroni. So kodwa bire gimoro mar le mobire ka japati ng'ama nego consult mokwongo en an. So gima bagije ne or na message forward ne okomako simo gochona, okondiko na kara gimoro ma concrete koino gire chama data tharcha na biro kari e constituency e gima kama adwano ariwre kata kain gire service moko nyisa okowachona. So and I chose to do giga mano ikore mana the team mami nyoka the function no
Mulur Koyo dhi nyime kayango ni bedo ni Mulur Robert Nyasuna ma en wadgi Governor Gladys Wanga en achiel kuom jochung' e laro kom od bura ma Muhoroni. Lemo ma Governor Gladys Wanga omake don bura mar ODM okoyiene kao kore kata kao chung' mare e piem mar siasa.
Gino ok nyal buoga ke gimo poyie mabuogi. Scheme mar kelo wadgi mondo chung' en gima nang'eyo chon kata kapod wan kode parliament. An kata gik moko makabet kode mawachne ma ne timo gi ng'ani cha i andamana ti woni ok ang'eyo, ma ne timo ng'ani woni andamana to ok ang'eyo, to nyalo buoge kabisa. to kaya ban mo nge kada ji mang'eny ong'e ni ok an ng'ama fuwo. Ase survive gik matek kabisa makane ok an ng'ama fuwo, kane an ng'ama fuwo di koro kachopo kama chopeni. Ang'e how to play a fool, but I'm not a fool and I will never be a fool even one day. Ang'e gik mang'eny, so wadgi ang'eyo en kode ilo moro mar gero dynasty mar Dinka cha rumo, koro agero dynasty moro Nyasuna, and I wish them well. Giremba kinyalo gere kako pare no be well and good, to mak mana ni samoro gi siasa gi you may be too near yet it is still too far. It may be too, you may be too near and yet it is too far, and joma fall cause be very close. Ro chung no right mare onyalo chung ibiro chung mang'eny awino chung to komuna nendo it does shake a strand of my hair. If any candidate is chung Moroni, if there is one who does not shake a strand of my hair, en ma
E twak mare kod jofwambe boma ma Kisumu, Mulur Koyo yango ni onge luoro kod buok mora mora kata kobedo ni owadgi Governor Gladys Wanga ma en Robert Nyasuna en achiel kuom jochung' kendo e lemo ma omako gie sani.
Kaga Gladys Wanga serious to be the chairman of ODM, to be very impartial. I to be kung'eyo ni 60 years of independence. Gima jo Kenya onge go sani kata chumi sani ruto improve. Gima jo Kenya onge go sani mag staff en wajinga te no serumo ji nderiek. Iwinjo adwani mondo ng'e ni onge school mano some ujanja ma en kende mano somo ato dhi olor mor ji mutuogi emno chako kuro ko yaw skund no mano somo ujanja go mutieko mung'eyo matiyo lenga ka joma woneno ni ujanja moro mikelo to gi interpret very fast. Adwani be very careful. Tadwa nyiso be community ne ka ok watang' to fall mar community biro wuok ir nyako ni. I've said and I've repeated and what na gina ng'eye ka community ok otang' to fall mar gibiro wuok kuom nyako ni. And speed ne ng'eny to onge loyalty to en gi games mindless ko parno riek kabisa moingo ji.
Something from this audio clip here is, before I play it for you, is that there is Koyo. On Sunday, the team Wanga led a host of ODM Linda Ground MPs to that place. And while there, they allegedly wanted to endorse a candidate who is Wanga's brother that is supposed to face off. And Koyo, who is the ODM chairperson in Moroni, was invited last minute after he had engaged with other things. And it appears that it was strategic that he was not really allowed in that event. And the leaders who were in Moroni spent more time attacking Koyo, who is the incumbent member of parliament. Now, this is exposing why ODM is pushing for zoning. They are pushing for zoning simply because they want to plant own candidates. They're pushing for zoning not because they want to protect the party. And I'll explain to you what will really protect the party. In Homa Bay, Silas Jakakimba, and I've looked at the list of UDA candidates in Nyanza. We must thank James Orengo. The only candidates who want to vote through UDA in Kisumu, Homa Bay, and Migori. There is no single name coming from Siaya. And I think the Orengo defiance against William Ruto and the emergence of MDG by Ochieng from the other side of Kenya is giving enough alternative. And UDA does not have a single candidate. I've looked at the list. If you go and check Alai's Facebook page, you'll actually find a new party. You'll find a new list of candidates who want to vie there. You'll find list of candidates. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is very, very, very clear that the issue of zoning, while they are parading it as the move to protect the party, but nothing is far from it.
Gladys Wanga, we are tired of you and your Opondo Kaluma. Opondo Kaluma, you are an incompetent leader, but we just don't want to accept it. There is nothing like zoning, Opondo Kaluma. This time round, we will not vote kitu kama party. We are going to vote for leaders. Opondo Kaluma, put it in record. This time round, we are going to vote leaders, not parties. There is nothing like ODM or UDA. We are going to vote leaders. There is nothing like zoning. You are pushing for zoning because you know so well that you are an incompetent leader. Opondo Kaluma, you keep saying that Homa Bay ni stronghold ya ODM. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? How do you zone? How do you zone your stronghold? I think you should be having an easy ride because that's your stronghold. Huh? Unaogopa, and we know it. There is nothing like zoning. Wamama wetu pia walizaa. We want our brothers and sisters pia, hata wakiwa na chama zingine, let them try it in Nyanza. There is nothing like zoning. There is nothing like in area ya ODM. No. We also have good leaders in other parties. Wengine pia wanakuja na independent Opondo Kaluma. This time round, Opondo Kaluma, unaogopa, si ndio? You fear competing UDA candidates, right? Unaogopa. You will not force us na hii zoning. You are going to compete against other parties. Respect the autonomy of the voters. Respect. Sawa sawa. Thank you.
Molo alichaguliwa kama mwanachama wa UDA. Hakuchaguliwa kama mwanachama wa ODM. Kwa hivyo tunataka watu wa ODM wawachane na Pieso Molo. Wakuje watuambie tuliwapea, kuna pia Wandai alipewa kazi. Anafanyia wananchi nini? Huyo ndiye alichaguliwa kupitia ODM. Watuambie John Mbadi anafanyia wananchi especially wale kutoka Nyanza nini? Huyo alichaguliwa na ODM. Wakuje watuambie Oparanya anafanyia watu wa ODM nini? Na watuambie Joe anatufanyia nini? Ouma Oluga anatufanyia nini? Hii vita ya kupigana na mtu alichaguliwa na William Samoei Ruto, sisi hatukukuwa ile wakati William Samoei Ruto alikuwa anachagua Raymond Omolo. Na Raymond Omolo ametusaidia. Amesimama na watu, hata hapa leo tunajua wale watu wamesaidiwa na Raymond Omolo. Alafu wengine kwa sababu ya mambo ya siasa, mambo ya wivu na selfish interest wameanza kupigana na Raymond Omolo.
You know, in Homa Bay, Opondo Kaluma is the ODM chair. I want you to listen to this lady. Now, if you check public sentiments, ODM is fighting it with itself as to whether to have the party or not. And if Nyanza is your stronghold, why would you fear competition from the other parties? And I can categorically say, Sam Atandi, who is talking about zoning, does not have a UDA competitor here in Alego Usonga. He does not have one. Why would you go for zoning? There is a statement going around here said, Siamgimi Timo. Show us what you have done. No lifting hands. Parasitic politicians who believed that they used to hang on Raila Odinga's coat cannot see themselves facing electorates to show the electorates what they have done. And if zoning is being proposed so that people would even impose their relatives in different elective positions in Luo Nyanza, then I can actually say categorically, it is not going to be a walk in the park. It is not going to be a walk in the park. If Wanga is talking about zoning, so that the moment he gives his brother the ODM certificate, his brother gets the Muhoroni parliamentary seat against the other candidates, simply because they have made, and you remember, I made some cautionary analysis, and I said the exit of Raila Odinga in the Nyanza politics should be allowed to make democracy thrive, so that so that the people can get leaders, not people that have been imposed on them. I'm very sure, and I would like using example of Siaya, if Siaya people were allowed to vote for their governor of their choice, Orengo would not have become the governor. Nicholas Odero Gumbo would be the governor of Siaya. But because Raila Odinga had to impose the ODM's power on the people, people picked leaders here that never did something, including the governor. I said I support the governor nationally, but when it comes to the running of the county government, Orengo is not anywhere plausible. Is not plausible in terms of running the county government. We are behind as a county. And this is something that we are making here. I want to challenge the ODM party. Zoning is not going to strengthen ODM. What is going to strengthen ODM is clean, fair party nominations. Zoning is a certificate auction enterprise. Okay, if you zone out UDA, if you believe that UDA is your best alternative partner, even if UDA leaves, doesn't field candidates, will you stop Wiper from fielding candidates? Will you stop other fringe parties from fielding candidates? Now, if you honestly believe that the alternative, you are in good relationship with UDA, then allow your UDA to field candidates, because you're the ones that have opened up. Protecting ODM party is not physically stopping opponents from participating. In fact, it has to be competitive. The moment we make ODM be the party of choice, which is fine, but go and entertain the politics of zoning, I can tell you, legitimate winners will be denied the certificates, relatives of powerfully connected politicians will be given the certificates, knowing very well that probably they are going to win those positions, and that will not translate to the broad-based vote. And where is the unity? In fact, where is the unity of the people? If you believe that for you to win an elective seat, you must zone some areas so that others don't go. I want to speak this. Let me borrow a leaf from Paul Mwangi. Zoning is not strengthening ODM party. Zoning is mutilating democracy. Number one. And we are speaking about zoning in the context of Nyanza. Can you successfully zone Nairobi? Will you? You might zone ODM. You might take areas, say this is UDA, ODM. How about the other parties? Will you zone Nairobi from DCP? Will you zone Nairobi from Wiper? So zoning is cowardly. Why do you fear if this is your zone? Why do you fear if you have the agenda that the president has done this and that? And I want to say this. What is being packaged as preserving and promoting ODM is not. They are the cog of the ODM party. The numbers are very important. moving forward. But I can tell you that even if you successfully get all these ODM seats, the person who will be the president will buy those people like pocket change. Because there is no firm fabric of the party. You successfully do that. Will you do something in 2032? ODM was built on principles and values. And that is why people from deeper end of Turkana to the far end of Kwale, to the downside of Busia, to the end of Migori, to the middle of central Kenya, subscribed to the Raila ideology. When you believe that you must fight for the rights of the people, when you promote the values of the party, that is what will make the people stick around. Whether, I want to ask, why do you think Raila will lose elections? Will not be announced president, but people will still troop around him? But let me tell you, the current comfort politics we are playing, in the event that you don't win the presidency and you're not in the seat of power, people will detach from you because it was just a transaction of give you, I give you. Yes, parties were formed to tengeneza power, true. But even the power has to be built within a strong economic, value-based principles so that people can identify with those principles whether you get power or not. Singing totem, morning to evening, and running around with political narratives of how we are going to be in government, whether come take me or take me, or this time we are not going to be opposition, we are going to do this. We are simply parading confusion. And because you have surrendered the ODM soul to the UDA, the moment you came to Siaya and shouted totem and saying we're still negotiating, that is the point you lost it. And after losing it, you cannot come through now start saying that it has to be ODM. Do you know, Raila never asked, Raila was ODM party leader. Did you ever hear Raila asking Jubilee not to field candidates? Did he ever make that statement? No. Why? Because he knew that even if they field those candidates, those candidates will not win. And the ground was naturally hostile for the other opposition candidates, anti-ODM candidates in Luo Nation, because of the Raila power. But what we are saying and lying as zoning, as protecting ODM, is simply intimidation. And we are intimidated of alternative voice. I want to believe in 2027, the country should be allowed to listen to alternative voices. There is nowhere written that ODM party is the only party that can get the best candidates. Maybe. The best candidates are not even with the party, are not even in the party. So, you want to protect your party, but please allow democracy to prevail. Thank you.
Hello Kenyans, this is Johannes Bolo, Nairobi Senate aspirant 2027. I really want to answer Samia Tandi. Samia Tandi, you are saying that UDA should not field candidates in ODM zones. Mr. Samia Tandi, Kenya is a democratic country and constitution must be respected. Okay? So, if you really have people, why do you fear? We are not going to allow zoning in UDA party. Okay? Even in Nairobi here, there's nothing like zoning. If you really believe in yourself that you have the people, let's get to the ballot. Okay? So we are not going to allow anything to do with zoning. UDA waende kivyao. ODM waende kivyao. tuko broad based, lakini watu waende kwa debe. Kama uko na watu, unaogopa nini? Unaogopa nini kama uko na watu? Sami, kama Hassan Omar anasimama governor na UDA na mko na governor wa ODM, yule mwenye ako na watu si waamalizane tu? Uoga ni ya nini? Hakuna muoga. Kama tuko broad based, mnalao pia wale Wajaluo wanatoka kule Karachuonyo, wanatoka sijui Siaya, kila mtu avae na UDA. Si mambo na broad based inamaanisha tunaweza simama hata huko. Hata huko. Unasikia? Kwani broad based ni ya president peke yake? Hii broad based ni ya governors peke yake? Hakuna. Governor kama ni ODM ama UDA, hata chama ingine yenye itakuja ndani ya broad based, wanalauiwa kusimama. Mwenye ako na watu akishinda aende achukue certificate. Hakuna uoga. Mwache kupima watu akili, my friend. Ni hivi ndio mmekuwa mkifanya, na mnafanya watu wale walikuwa na nia kuingia siasa hawaingie siasa juu ya mambo ya zoning.